And I made a big career decision at, at 56 years old that, I left an unbelievable job in my hometown in Chicago, and sometimes things just develop, and the opportunity presented itself, and knowing my brother was here and Nick was already on board, and my son had been here for a couple of years scouting, and don't get that opportunity to really get a chance to be around your family when you're working and stuff. So I think it's great. It's very appreciative for the opportunity.
Family was important, but so was knowing who he'd be joining in the broadcast booth.
That was certainly an important part of the decision for me to come here after year one. But I will say this, Bree, is that, I've known JT since he was a teenager playing with my oldest son, Eddie, when they were playing juniors in Waterloo, Iowa. So I've known JT for a long time and followed his career, and also Johnny being here. That to me was like, okay, I can see myself wanting to be a part of the broadcast and obviously in the family part of it. So yeah, there were a lot of factors that went in, not only personally but professionally, to get this great opportunity. I'm very thankful for the organization to trust me and allow me to sit in that chair.
They found ways to get back in the game.
Eddie credits the success in the booth to the leader, John Forslund.
Johnny is our captain, and our broadcasts are what they are because of him. There is nobody better that calls the games in the game of hockey than Johnny.
Now Larson out to center. McCann knocked down at the line.
I've had the opportunity to sit next to him on a national level and then get a chance to be a part of, and be his partner along with JT for our Kraken Hockey Network. I think we could do the games with our eyes closed and we could read off each other and people would never know. I think there's great humility with how we call the game, and we take great pride in trying to be the best, but also to entertain.
Boy, I'll tell you what, take a look at this, Edzo, JT.
First off, if I had to eat with chopsticks like that, I'd be there for 2 weeks.
I like to think that our broadcast is honest. Yeah, we want the Kraken to win, and if they're playing well, we're going to play that trumpet.
Fantastic team effort. That's Kraken hockey, baby.
But when it's not going well, I think that if you asked anybody, is that we're going to say. I'm not going to belabor it, but you're not going to fool the fans. They know when it's going well, and they're going to know when it is well. So I think knowing that Johnny was here, I was like, okay, like this, we feel we can be the best, and we try to be the best every night. So for me, it was a win-win, and extremely pleased with where we are and still striving to be better.
A lot of people say is that when a goaltender's mask comes off in the game, it's an automatic whistle. That is not the case.
Eddie's broadcast career actually started not with hockey, but with horse racing.
I actually got my start in television, believe it or not, at the racetrack. Cliff Notes version. 94, I was with a member of the New York Rangers. We won the Stanley Cup. The next year we had a work stoppage. So there was no hockey until the following January. So the people at the Meadowlands racetrack, East Rutherford, New Jersey, and they were big Ranger fans. They were like, hey, you like the horses. We love the Rangers. You're not working. Why don't you come work at the racetrack, and you can pick horses and handicap and just promote the game, and we'll pay you to come to the racetrack. I'm like, wow, this is a win-win. They're going to pay me to go to the racetrack. And I actually got my start in television for the first time, was doing horse racing in the fall of '94. Fast forward, I got the job with NBC as a lead analyst for hockey. They had Kentucky Derby and Breeders' Cup for a long time. I asked my boss for 6 years about being a part of the broadcast team for horse racing. After giving me the Heisman for 6 years, he said, let me think about it. So I got a shot. I started working horse racing in 2014. I knocked it out of the park my first 2 shows. And then I got the opportunity to work my first Kentucky Derby in 2015. And oh, by the way, American Pharoah won the Triple Crown that year, our first Triple Crown since the early 70s. So that's how I got it. It's been my passion. It's always been my release to get away from hockey over the years. And I just love being a part of it. And it's just a great thrill to be at one of those marquee events on NBC each and every first Saturday in May. I'm loving what I'm doing, and that's something that I take great pride in, and hopefully learning something as well along the way, whether you like to dabble in horses like I do, or you're trying to learn something about the game of hockey.